Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com, and it is time for this month's Tarotscope for October 2024. And because I'll be spending Halloween in England this year, I thought I'd dress the part for the video. So, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go through every astrological sign. I'm going to begin with Aries and end with Pisces. And I'm just going to pick two cards for each sign to give you a little forecast of what to expect for October 2024. So there are these convenient little timestamps at the bottom of your screen of which you can quickly go to your relevant message. And also, if you want an even more accurate reading, you might also want to listen to the astrological message for your moon sign and your rising sign as well. So without further ado, let's go into the tarot scopes for October 2024. First, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Aries. So, if you're an Aries or have a lot of Aries in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for October. And we actually got the Ten of Cups, which for me is often a card of happy endings. The Ten of Cups is indicating that the troubles are passing. You see the happy couple here, and the kids are dancing, and there's a rainbow in the sky. And yet, that rainbow signifies that there was a storm to go through. So, for you, Aries, it's so important that you're just taking a look around you this month and you're really absorbing the fact that you've gotten through the toughest challenges and that better days are ahead. Also, the Ten of Cups is a card for me of gratitude. And that attitude of gratitude, that affirming the positive and being grateful and thankful for all those blessings that have found their way into your life, that is a surefire way of attracting even more blessings to you in the future. So, this next month, I just feel for Aries, it's just so important that you're looking at the tide turning and that you're affirming it and that you're really just opening yourself to the good things at hand. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're an Aries for this next month, is the Wheel of Fortune, which is another card that's numbered 10. Now, two tens in the tarot, 10 is the first double digit number. And when we add those two digits together, 1 and 0, we get number 1 again. Tens are completion numbers. They indicate that you're finishing one cycle and preparing to begin another one. With the Wheel of Fortune, this is just a card that's saying fortune is smiling on you this next month. If you're feeling like going for something, Aries, do it. If there is this lucky break that just seems to come out of nowhere, don't look the gift horse in the mouth, but instead accept the blessing and move forward anyway. I just feel like the tide is turning for Aries. The wheel is turned. And if you felt like you were on the bottom of the wheel before, that Wheel of Fortune is saying that your star is on the ascendant this next month. So it's time to just stay centered, stay grateful, but accept those blessings that are finding their way toward you. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Taurus. So, if you're a Taurus or have a lot of Taurus in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for October 2024. And we have the very appropriate Taurus card of the Hierophant card. The Hierophant is the archetype of faith. And Taurus, it's so important for you this next month, I should say, to have faith in your mission, in your goals. Faith isn't something that's exercised when everything's going swimmingly well for you. It's exercised when sometimes we don't have a guarantee or it doesn't appear that everything's going to work out. And yet the Hierophant is telling you to connect to what's limitless within your life. Maybe it's time to make time for your spirit. Maybe it's time to touch the sacred. But most importantly of all, it's time to have faith in yourself and in what you believe to be true. The Hierophant is telling you to go your own road and believe it's right despite any opposition that you're up against this next month. And just have faith in that North Star to guide you through. And finally, the Hierophant can sometimes be a teacher card, so you might want to be aware of teachers that appear on your path this next month as well. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Taurus for this next month, is the Five of Cups reversed. And the Five of Cups reversed can indicate that it's time to let go of old emotional baggage that's talking you out of your best opportunities. Also, Five of Cups reversed, upright or reversed, Five of Cups can indicate ruminating about something, obsessing about it, thinking about it so much that it's just going over like a wheel in your head again and again. And it's time to switch gears. It's time to change channels. I feel like your faith is tested. And just like Aries, how interesting. Aries had two tens, Taurus has two fives. And fives are notoriously prickly in the tarot. They can sometimes challenge us or create a conflict that really helps us to grow. So, Five of Cups reversed, it's like you're needing to have faith with that Hierophant in your goal, in the thing that you're farsighted about, even if you have been disappointed in the past, even if you've made an attempt toward your goal and it didn't work out quite like you expected it to. It may be a time to change gears, change tactics, and not give up on this anyway. Have faith in yourself, have faith in your goals, and don't get stuck in emotional mire for the month of October. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Gemini. So if you're a Gemini or have a lot of Gemini in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for October. And we got the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords can represent that paralyzing feeling or emotion of fear that keeps us tied in knots, keeps us from our best opportunities. Sometimes the Eight of Swords will represent a life situation of which you feel like you don't have options, or you're trapped, or you're just stuck, and you just have to accept it. Sort of like the lady in the card. She's kind of shutting down. She's blindfolded. She can't see the opportunities that are ahead for her because she's just stuck in her own fear spiral. She could be free from those ropes whenever she wanted to. These swords that are flanking her are literally inches away. She just has to rub those bindings against the swords and be free. And yet she's kind of given up. She's waiting for the hero to come in and swoop in and save her from all her problems, and no one's coming. The Eight of Swords is the card of toxic passivity, where you're just giving up. You're hoping that just something changes by just wishing for it or waiting for it, and yet nothing's changing. Gemini, this is your month to take action. It's time to cut away the bindings of fear that have kept you stagnant and stuck with that thing in your life that just doesn't feel like it's progressing. Eight of Swords might even indicate that it's time to free yourself from procrastination, which is also just fear in disguise, keeping you tied away from your best opportunities. It's time to take off the blindfold and notice where your opportunities are coming from, but also to take off the blindfold and recognize that you're in the driver's seat. You're the powerful one. You're the one who can steer your life in a better direction. But you have to get out of that fear narrative first. The advice from your inner wisdom this next month of October, if you're a Gemini, is the Emperor card. And he's about as opposite of the Eight of Swords energy as you can get. Whereas the Eight of Swords is a card of passivity, the Emperor is a card of action. Gemini, when you act, you win. When you avoid, you lose this next month. When you hope and wish and wait, nothing changes. The Emperor is telling you to take ownership, take control. And a lot of times, people, especially with tarot readings, are uncomfortable with the Emperor card. They associate him with a really aggressive form of the patriarchy, and they completely dismiss all of his gifts. And yet, one of the gifts of the Emperor is to create change by taking action, by being a leader, by stepping into the world. And yes, the Emperor holds the orb in his hand. He affects change in the external world. But in order to affect that change in the external world, Gemini, you need to act in it. You need to take action in that external world. And so this is a time to get out of your head, out of your heart, out of your feelings, and into the world, into your opportunities. It's time to go for it. And I just feel like you, Gemini, are going to see a huge breakthrough in the spring if you take action toward the thing you're afraid to do. And I'll just borrow Eleanor Roosevelt's words: you must always do the thing you're afraid to do, because that's where your breakthrough is waiting. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Cancer. So if you're a Cancer or have a lot of Cancer in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for October 2024. Here we got Death reversed. Now, upright or reversed, death can represent a fear of change, a fear of letting go of something. Because if you cross that threshold, if you make that change, well, then everything's going to be different. And death freaks us out a little bit because it represents permanent change. And boy, are the stakes high for you, Cancer, right now, to accept a change that needs to happen in your own life. When death comes up reversed, it can represent a strong resistance or aversion to change. And sometimes this card will tell you it's that fear of letting go of something because it's familiar. because you know it so well, that's preventing you from making your breakthrough. Always with the death card, upright or reversed, there's that sun that's rising over the horizon, and this can indicate a positive new beginning or a fresh start. But it's so important that you're not resisting, you're not digging your heels into the change that's right in front of you. Because another secret about the death card, upright or reversed, is that change is inevitable. It is going to happen whether you welcome it or not. And so you have a choice, Cancer. You can either greet this change as your friend, or you can have it grab you by the hair, kicking and screaming through it. Either way, it's going to happen. And so it's so important that you're brave and that you summon your courage with that which needs to be let go of. The advice from your inner wisdom that might help you with this lesson this next month is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is a card of action, movement, and momentum. All 8 wands are parallel to one another. They're like arrows guided toward their target. And the winds, the breeze they're shooting through can represent that direction, that momentum. And I just feel for you, Cancer, that there is this sense of like there's already a momentum. There's already a breeze in your life pointing you in the right direction. And yet, what are you doing if you're turning around and fighting those winds of change, if you're working against them? It's so hard to row against a sail filled with wind that's leading you in a different direction. You're not going to win. And so instead, it's time to think smarter and be quick, be nimble and agile with that Eight of Wands. Move with the energy. Follow where the momentum seems to be leading you. That's what's going to really lead towards your breakthrough as well. And finally, the Eight of Wands is a unique card in the tarot in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck because it does not depict a person or even the symbolic part of a person on the card. It represents an impersonal quality. And so what's so important for you, Cancer, is not to personalize this, not to put this through the lens of your emotions or your feelings or attach your sensitivity to it, but just accept that what's happening isn't personal. It's not because you're a good person or a bad person or you did this right or wrong. It's because this is just where the change is going. And if you can accept it, you can thrive once you reach the other side. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Leo. So if you're a Leo or have a lot of Leo in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for October 2024. And we get the Star card. And for me, the Star is the card of hope and wisdom. The Star is that little light at the end of the tunnel. And in the major arcana, the Star card appears right after all the difficult, challenging cards. After the Hangman, after the Death card, after the Devil card, after the Tower, we finally get to the light of the Star. And it tells you not to give up hope. Also, stars are maps at night when we can't find our way. Sailors used to use them when they were trying to guide their ships back home. And so, too, it might feel like you're working through the dark, Leo, but you don't want to give up hope on that hopeful star. Face your North Star. Keep going toward it. Have faith in it. That star is a card of wisdom, and it's also a card of perspective. You may need to take a more distant view of your situation right now in order to thrive or succeed, and put it in its universal context. And finally, with the Star card, if you're struggling with something in your own life, sometimes the best solution to it is to be of service to someone else. How can I help you? It gets you out of yourself. It gets you out of your own worry, your own anxiety, and it puts you in that service-oriented energy that always cultivates good karma for you. So this could be a month where you're also looking to help. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Leo, for the month of October. Another major arcana card in the Lovers card. So 2 major arcana cards say that for Leo, this is a huge time of inner transformation. And also spiritual awareness or awakening. This could be a month where the veil between the worlds is the thinnest, where you're starting to hear the call of your angels. And in the case of the Lovers card, this could also be a time where you're forming important connections. No one gets to where they want to go in life all by themselves. Everybody gets some help, some support. And Leo, I just feel like this could be a time where some good karmic forces are working in your favor. To whom much is given, much is required, but to whom much has gave, much is coming. And so I feel like there's a lot of blessings coming your way. And there's this inner transformation, this inner perspective, which is so important. So Leo, for October, approach it from the vantage point and with the eyes of your inner angel, and watch how you transcend all the challenges that are before you. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Virgo. So if you're a Virgo or have a lot of Virgo in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best to place your focus for October. And we get the sensitive Page of Cups. And for me, the Page of Cups is the artist of the tarot. He is the one who is just so sensitive to all of the impressions that are around him. And he utilizes that to create something, to make the world better. Page of Cups doesn't just get caught in his feelings or his emotions about something. He channels them towards some sort of improvement. Page of Cups could also just indicate that your life has gotten so serious, Virgo, that you've forgotten to laugh, to play, to let your hair down, to enjoy things a little bit more. Maybe you're needing to remember your own creative inner child at this time. And also the Page of Cups could just indicate you're a little bit more sensitive than usual. So if you're normally registering an emotion on a scale of 1 to 10 at like a level 5, Page of Cups comes in and everything feels like a 15. So it's so important that you are very selective about where you're allowing that sensitive nature of yours to be. Maybe you're needing to create some boundaries with toxic energy that might have been around you before to keep your energy field clear. The advice from your inner wisdom for the month of October, if you're a Virgo, is the Queen of Wands reversed. And Queen of Wands reversed can indicate that you're starting to feel a little shaky in your confidence at this time, or you're starting to doubt your light. You might also feel an instinct to hide what makes you most magical. And yet it's by allowing yourself to shine that the greatest breakthrough is going to happen for you. This card is saying it's time to speak up. It's time to stop stuffing down your light to appease other people. It might also be a time where you're just conscious of how sensitive you're being to the energy of other people, to the point where you're sort of collapsing in, making yourself small, shrinking away, or hiding behind the scenes. And instead, this is a month to be more declarative, to speak what you need, to speak what you want into existence. And it's also an important month to not give up hope on your greatest blessings. So I just feel for you, Virgo, to really let yourself shine and not get in your head too much about how expressive you can be. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Libra, and happy birthday to all my fellow Libras out there that are born in October. This first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for October 2024. And we get the Ace of Swords card. And Ace of Swords is a card of triumph. It's the yes card. It's a card that tells you to say yes to your best opportunities, but also to take charge this next year. Ace of Swords could say that it's time to take action towards your best opportunities and to really follow your focus or your mind. There's a lot of brilliance going on mentally for you this next month, Libra, and a lot of ideas that it's important that you're jotting down and not procrastinating through. And finally, the Ace of Swords gives us this valuable lesson. Dangling from the crown on the Ace of Swords, which represents triumph, are two branches, an olive branch and a palm branch. Don't forget, Libra, that like the palm tree, symbolized by that palm branch, you're resilient. You can withstand hurricane winds and not get uprooted. And so too with your life, you might have experienced that before. It's so important that you're staying grounded toward a belief in yourself. And then that olive branch, the symbol of peace. Peace happens, Libra, when you take action, when you go toward the thing that needs to get done. It doesn't happen, inner peace doesn't happen when we're procrastinating, we're afraid, we're avoiding, we're not in alignment with our courage. So I just feel for you, Libra, it's so important to be courageous this next month, to say yes to your opportunities and to take action in your life towards those opportunities too. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Libra, for the month of October is the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups for me is the messenger of love in the tarot. He can indicate that it's so important for you to open your heart to love this next month. It could indicate repairing relationships or investing in your relationship life. But also the Knight of Cups for me is the messenger of your bliss. He's telling you to find your bliss and to go toward it, to follow your heart. This might be a time of a harvest for you, emotionally speaking, where you've gone through the quest. You've gone through the emotional trials and tribulations, and instead you're needing to open your heart to all the wonders that await you. And the Knight of Cups is also the messenger of the tarot. He wears the winged helmet and shoes of Mercury, the messenger god. This could be a time to speak your heart or speak a message that has importance, not just to yourself, but to other people as well. I just feel like it's a time this next month to go on a quest toward what your passion is. And I also see success with that quest when we see that wonderful Ace of Swords. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Scorpio. So if you're a Scorpio or have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for October 2024. Here we get the Nine of Wands reversed. Nine of Wands reversed can sometimes represent letting go of grievances or things that you got a chip on your shoulder about. Might also just be a month where you're really releasing any toxic emotions that are keeping you in a state of griping, fear, resentment, all those lower vibrations. Nine of Wands, upright or reversed, is telling you that you're resilient and that if you have survived these trials by fire that have been extremely frustrating for you, it might be a time to just accept that, you know what, there were lessons to be found in those things and in those challenges. And you know what else? They've made me stronger. They've made me better. And so I just feel like you might want to bless the challenge, bless the thing that's been so frustrating, instead of being aggrieved by it. Nine of Wands reverse can also indicate that it's time to set aside any emotions that are keeping you in a state of toxic soup. So whether it has to do with relationships with others where you have to speak up or speak your truth, or if you're feeling obligated or guilted into doing something that you're just like, I don't want to, maybe you need to listen to your inner self and just say, okay, we're not going to do this today. We're not going to accept that sort of energy. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Scorpio for October, is justice. And Lady Justice is telling you, if you want balance in your life this next month, Scorpio, the quickest route to it is through truth, being honest with yourself and being honest with others. That old saying, the truth shall set you free, it's really true. And so there is this sense of being honest with yourself. If your inner self, I'm just getting this feeling, Scorpio, if your inner self is like, I don't want to do this, I'm so frustrated, I can't do this anymore, and you're just like, shut up, go to work, do it anyway, you're betraying yourself. And instead, with Lady Justice, you need to say, okay, inner self, I hear you. Here's the plan. We're going to come up with a logical way to approach this. And we're going to go toward the realm of balance by speaking up and being honest. And also, Lady Justice is flanked by those two gray pillars, which is the color of neutrality. So this could be a week, this could be a month where you need to be neutral. You need to get your feelings out of it, and you need to assess the facts. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Sagittarius. So if you're a Sagittarius or have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for October. And we get the Judgment card reversed. And when Judgment card comes up reversed, it's telling you to wake up to whatever you're sleepwalking through life about. This is a card that's telling you to be aware, to absorb, to be alert. It could also be a card that's telling you to be conscious of habits that are forming or things that you just naturally have as your go-to response to everything. And to be conscious of, why am I doing this? Why do I continue to do this? Why is this always happening to me? And then getting to the root of it. This is also a card that's telling you to wake up to your opportunities. Sometimes we get into a funk or just sort of like a grind where it's like day in, day out, rinse and repeat. Judgment reversed is calling you out of that. It's telling you to be alert to the magic that's around you. And most importantly of all, the angel blowing the trumpet and all the dead rising out of the grave, it's time to live again. It's time to wake up the dead parts of yourself. These could be old hopes or dreams that it's time to take action on. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Sagittarius for this next month of October, is actually the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is a card of love and also partnerships that are meant to be. Two of Cups is also a card of compromise and cooperation in your most sacred relationships. Two of Cups could also just indicate that it's time to speak up or seek support from the people that you love the most to help you wake up at this time, to help you feel like you're going through your own rebirth or renewal. I feel for Sagittarius that your greatest breakthroughs this next month are going to happen when you communicate, when you reach out, when you open your heart. And also, Two of Cups is the quintessential love card in the tarot. If there are relationships that you need to clear things up with, that you need to be mindful about how you're communicating in, this card can say that deep healing can be happening when you place your focus on those things. So maybe that judgment reverse with Two of Cups could indicate that you might need to be aware of what you're sort of unconsciously doing in your closest relationships, whether they're romantic or whether they're with the people that you're closest to. It's so important that you are creating some space for that. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Capricorn. So if you're a Capricorn or have a lot of Capricorn in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for October 2024. The card we get here is the Knight of Swords. Who's ambitious? He's racing ahead on his horse and he's thrashing it with his sword and yelling, go, go, go. And that Knight of Swords can be a symbol for the cruel taskmaster within your own head. And that horse can represent your physical body, which is on the edge of a burnout if you're pushing it too hard. Capricorn, self-care is the name of the game for the month of October for you. Slow down. Don't be in such an urgent hurry. And don't freak out about all the things that you need to do. Instead, a calm mind is a powerful mind. Take your time. Also, Knight of Swords can sometimes indicate an intensity, a sort of hack and slash approach to getting what you want in life. And instead, what you're really needing to do is take your time. Let it come to you. And finally, that Knight of Swords can just represent that you need to watch what you're saying instead of just letting things fly out of your mouth or really letting your energy passively aggressively announce what you're feeling and hoping other people are going to get the hint. Maybe it's time to slow down in your communication and really think about your words and how they're coming across. I just feel like relationships with others this next month with that Knight of Swords are so vital, and that you need to be very conscious about how you're coming across, how you're communicating. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Capricorn for this next month of October, is the Moon card. And the Moon can represent those unconscious forces that are pulling on us. Instinctively, we're feeling pulled by something, almost like how the moon pulls on the tides as it orbits the earth. There's a sense of like urgency or like, I just have to get this going. I really need to focus intensely on this thing with that Knight of Swords. And yet the moon, it's telling you to get quiet, to get to the source of why that urgency's there. Why is that fear there? What is that thing that's really pushing or motivating you? It might be a time to slow down and breathe into that a little bit more. Also, when we see the Moon card, it could be a time to really make space or time to listen to your own unconscious inner emotions and your feelings, to really listen to that inner wisdom that's going on there. That's going to be so important as well. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Aquarius. So if you're an Aquarius or have a lot of Aquarius in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for October. And we get the Ten of Pentacles, which for me is a card of legacy. Also, having an eye on your long-term goals. It's so important, Aquarius, that you're working on the things that are going to last for you well into the future, way after you're gone. The Ten of Pentacles calls your mind towards those things that are built to last in your life. And Aquarius could never be accused of not being farsighted. But this Ten of Pentacles card could really indicate that you do need to take a more practical approach to what those long-term goals really are. And also, the Ten of Pentacles shows a family scene on it. So this can represent a time to connect to the group, to humanity, but also to family, to an organization. It's time to be a part of the whole in order to create firm foundations for success moving forward. But I just feel like some important inspirational work is available to you, Aquarius, and it's time to manifest it into reality. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're an Aquarius for this next month, is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is a card of remembering what made you happy in the past. And when we have that Ten of Pentacles with the Six of Cups, it could also be a returning to the past, a circling back and a collecting of a part of yourself that's really important and intrinsically linked to your own legacy. Also, these two cards can indicate a time to reconnect with family from the past, friendships from the past, relationships that might have been off the radar for a little while. It might be a time to circle back and to reconnect there. But I just feel for you, Aquarius, that this is a time to really let what's best about the past live again, and also to dust off those old dreams and goals and to take some action toward them so you can move forward into the future successfully. And finally, last but not least, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Pisces. So if you're a Pisces or have a lot of Pisces in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for the month of October. And we get the Three of Pentacles, which for me is a card of learning and perfecting. It's an educational card. Sometimes it can literally represent taking a class or going to school or getting some sort of training that's going to support you. But sometimes it also can indicate that you're refining or perfecting a talent, a skill. You're bringing it to the next level, and you're doing your research about how to bring it to that next level. There's always a collaborative card energy with the Three of Pentacles. So this could be a time as well to share ideas with others. And you might find that your own ideas become sharper, clearer, and better when they are brought to the attention or awareness of other people who can collaborate with you. So I just feel like this is a month for you, Pisces, to expand by educating yourself or learning what those opportunities are. And the advice from your inner wisdom for the month of October, if you're a Pisces, is the Three of Swords. And whenever I see the Three of Swords, you don't need to be a master tarot reader to look at this card and know that it means that there's been a wound to the heart. There's been something emotionally that's been difficult. And yet when I see this card, I feel like it has a great propensity for healing, because it's only by confronting that which the heart is holding on to and finally releasing it that we extract the swords from the heart and let it float above the rain clouds to rejoin the sun, light and free. And so for you, Pisces, these 2-3 cards as well, this could be a time where you're needing to remember your joy, expression, your living. You're needing to find the things that make you feel alive again. But it's also a time to take an inventory of what you're carrying on your heart and what might be bogging you down, what might have been keeping you kind of scared and stuck. It's so interesting, the heart is sometimes so resistant to letting go of those swords. The swords representing painful emotions from the past or traumatic experiences, because somehow the heart tricks itself into thinking that if it hangs onto those swords, well, swords are symbols of power. And somehow you're going to be more powerful the next time that hurtful thing comes around. And yet the heart is just staying bogged down in suffering. So I just feel for you, Pisces, it's time to release those old emotional burdens. It's time to learn about what's going to allow you to feel free and what your best opportunities are. And it's time to perfect yourself by really releasing some of those burdens and allowing the heart to heal. And that was this month's Tarotscope for October 2024. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you found this video useful, please do share it with a friend. Also, please do like and subscribe to my channel. And if you don't mind, if something resonated with you, put a little comment in the box with an emoji, because it lets YouTube know that you find this content valuable. I hope you all have a wonderful month of October, whatever it is that you're doing. And if you want to schedule a one-on-one tarot session with me, you can find me at elliotoracle.com. I'd love to read your cards. And also, my books are available, Fearless Tarot and Tarot in Love, online on Amazon or in many different metaphysical bookstores. So if you want an empowering approach to tarot, do check those books out. Again, I hope you have a wonderful month, and I will see you again here next month for November's Tarotscope, so do take care.